Cold Brew got me like.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, it's me.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to Cold Brew Got Me Like, the TV show on Twitch, hosted by me, Chris Crofton, and my brother, Greg Crofton.
Hey, what's up?
Technical director, Eric Wilson, somewhere, behind the
Cold
curtain.
Brew got me like.
I feel like my color is not good in this. This video makes me look like white as a ghost.
You look great.
Is this one of these fake it till you make it kind of things people say? That I look great? I think it is. Hold on, I'm going to take off my hat. Man, it's hot. It's hot out here in California. They don't tell you about that. They just say it's all about, it's all about rock and roll, but it turns out it's also hot. It's not even that hot. It's just I'm hot. I don't know what's happening to me today. It's all because of staying up all night to write the advice column. I stayed up all night to write the advice column. I didn't get to take a nap. Look at me. I look so white. Anyway, welcome to Cold Brew Got Me Like. And if you're listening on if you're gonna listen on a podcast on YouTube, podcast on Huffington Post. Just kidding. On if you're gonna listen on Spreaker or God forbid, listen on Spreaker. Yeah, God forbid. Spreaker is I think your last choice. But oh man, I hope Spreaker's not listening. But anyway, what do you call the other ones? Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on there, you can go to my Twitter at The Crofton Show, and you can get links to the videos that we're going to discuss. But today we're really going to discuss mainly the diving video, which I actually forgot to put up.
Oh, John is telling us to remind people that this is not our normal night for broadcasting.
Oh, yeah. This is not our normal night for broadcasting.
So Tuesday is normally we're on the air on Tuesday.
Normally we're on the air on Tuesday at 6:30 Pacific, but we had to switch it. Now, I wonder if anyone in the chat heard me on the Daily Zeitgeist yesterday. I bet they did.
Yeah.
So
one person, the first guy says, "Endless Joel. Oh, what's up, Zeit Gang? What up, Zeit Gang?"
Yeah. That's what they say to each other. So the Zeit people, the Zeit Gang, the people that like Daily Zeitgeist, they call each other Zeit Gang, and they greet each other by saying like, "What up, Zeit Gang?" and stuff like that. So
I can take that.
I was on Daily Zeitgeist yesterday, and I forget what I see. I can't remember anything I'm thinking about because I stayed up too late writing a column.
Detonation. Let the detonation begin.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have some coffee. Here's this. Once again, Stumptown, man. Come on.
Where's that explosion, Eric?
Well, also, where's my fucking Stumptown sponsorship? Like, how long do we have to do this? We've done at least 6 episodes. Where are they? I mean, how long do I have to be drinking your fucking coffee before you send me a pallet?
Where's that huge bong hit noise?
I don't know. I think Eric went on break. So,
there it is.
Oh yeah, what? Did we even have a Cold Brew Got Me Like at the beginning? Eric, is your noisemaker broken?
Cold Brew got me like.
And that is a sex. That's a sex question. Mm. Okay, well, welcome to the show. I don't know if I really said anything I was supposed to say at the beginning. I didn't. I'm supposed to say go to if you're watching on fucking Spreaker or if you're listening, if you're listening on fucking Spotify or you're listening on Apple Podcasts and you're wondering, oh, what? This sucks. I'm hearing about all these diving people wearing Speedos with big mustaches and I can't even see them. Well, you go to my Twitter and at the top of my Twitter at The Crofton Show, I figured out with a team of experts how to pin a tweet. I know it sounds crazy, but you can do it if you have the right people behind you. So I pinned a tweet. Look at how white I look. It's incredible. I mean,
No, you look like a physicist.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm like ghost of a physicist. I look like I'm in a black and white movie. I mean, this is crazy. So
No, I saw the pinned tweet. It looked beautiful. The high diver posed in the blue sky. It looks fantastic. Just for art alone, just check it out. Check
well,
out the
that was
pinned
a
tweet.
beautiful pinned tweet, but it didn't have the information I'm talking about. It did not have the link to the diving video. It just had a still from it. It had a little bit of what we talked about last week. So anyway, we're going to revisit that diving video. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened to me after the Daily Zeitgeist yesterday. Someone wrote "grip it and drip it, baby." What does that mean?
Grip it and rip it.
What does that mean? Oh,
That's
that means drink
bong
cold
hit.
brew. That's bong talk. One time I no, we can't let weed culture in on this podcast. I'm not going to have it. I draw the line at weed talk.
Delta
Listen,
8.
What?
I said Delta 8.
Are you about Delta? I just heard from someone that Delta 8 was
It's getting illegal across the country right now.
well, I heard it's not good for you. Someone said it was bad chemicals.
Oh, whatever.
That's right.
Everything's bad.
Correct. That's a correct response. American has. Fuck off. Fuck you. I can drink motor oil. I'm an American. I can drink motor oil. I put motor oil on my fucking cornflakes. That's America. What are you, a communist? You don't eat metal? Like a billy goat? What are you, a communist?
Well, no, the good part is Delta 8's available at Smoke Mountain, which is right across the street from the gas station.
I'll chew the front off a dishwasher. I'm American. Yeah, so you can get it right on a gas station. So that means it's probably safe. All the safest drugs are available at the gas station. I always wonder about those like erection drugs and the like other just like supplements that are supposed to make you super horny. I wonder if they work because I'm suspicious of all that stuff, so I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Expensive too, yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems crazy, but there are people who get that stuff like religiously. They're like, I've never felt so horny in my life. This is the wonderful drug. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who come in there and they're like, do you have it?
There must be.
Yeah. They're like, give me it. This is a wonderful drug. This, Dick Exploder 650 is very good. Do you have it in stock? No, the maniac who delivers it didn't get his shipment from
that's the job I need.
From Fiji, where it's made by 4-year-olds out of sawdust.
You don't need a delivery truck because it's just a bunch of pills.
What's in this? It tastes wonderful. I think as far as I can tell, it's 100% Fijian sawdust. The man who comes in and he sells me those paddles that have the rubber ball attached to them and these pills. All right, so Delta 8, weed talk. Yeah. I already deal with enough people in Los Angeles who are stoned. Greg, you're in Nashville, Tennessee, and people are probably slightly less stoned there, just a little bit. People in,
Well, no, it's a hemp product. It's legal because hemp was legalized. It's a derivative of hemp. It's a loophole, but that loophole is quickly being closed state by state because it's like bath salts probably.
Oh no, I feel like I'm on a date with a weed person. Now I feel like a woman who goes out with a weed guy on a date. Like, well, what it is, I don't know if you heard about this, baby, but hemp is legal now, so that was the worst date ever. He talked about hemp the whole time.
It's a loophole.
His eyes were all glassy, and he kept stepping outside to suck on some kind of thing that looked like a car key. And he came back and he was in a good mood, and then he got crabby, and then he went outside and sucked on the car key, and then he was in a good mood again, and he just kept talking about how hemp was legal. It was the worst date ever. But they got good salads at Logan's. So
okay, no more weed talk.
Okay, no more weed talking. Oh yeah, okay. So I was supposed to go to the. Okay, this is the thing I forgot. I just looked in the chat. All your friends love acid. Okay, so I thought I was going to. The reason why Cold Brew Got Me Like is on Wednesday this week, which is today, instead of Tuesday when it normally is because I thought I was going to Disneyland yesterday, and I told everybody on the Daily Zeitgeist that I was going to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow, it turns out. So I rearranged my schedule and your schedule and everybody's schedule for nothing. I have not.
God, this is because of Disneyland?
I have to go to Disneyland. Yeah, it's the ticket costs $120, and it's a whole day event, so I couldn't do the show if I went to Disneyland, and I thought I was going yesterday, but it turns out I didn't look at the ticket, which is pretty typical of me.
So you bought a ticket. You have a $120 ticket?
Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland, and everybody's going to do acid except for me.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I already went once 2 years ago with this same crew, and I had one friend who didn't do acid, though, on that trip. And this time it's going to be just me not doing acid, I think. So maybe I'll have to get some of that Delta 9. Maybe I'll have to stop off at the gas station and get some horny goat weed, so at least I'll have a boner through the whole.
No, I think you should get a $25 lemonade. That's what I always remember about Disneyland. I was like so dying for a lemonade, and I went over and it was like $18. So I was like, God damn it.
That's what they're going to do. It's probably even more because they're going to be like, I don't know if you've been to one of those, been to an Airbnb like during COVID. They're like, is a giant cleaning fee. I bet they're going to attach a cleaning fee to the lemonade.
Airbnb is now more expensive than regular hotels, I think. As far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, okay, normally this lemonade would be $18, but since it's COVID, it's $47 because of the cleaning fee. So yeah, it's also I might get COVID. I don't know. I got the vaccine, but I don't know if Phil, my landlord, just looked in here. I mean, this is not show business the way I imagined it.
We needed a cold brew got me like.
Yeah, what's going on?
Cold brew got me like.
Eric, did you leave the sound effects board in the car?
He just left the room.
Yeah, he's on break again. All right. Well, anyway, so I was going to go yesterday. Turns out I'm going tomorrow. And I talked about, on the Daily Zeitgeist, I talked about just the fact that I could never do acid. At Disneyland, I just couldn't risk it because when I do acid or I do mushrooms or that kind of thing, or even smoke pot usually, I just see the subtext and everything, and I just want to tell everybody, so everything to me is like capitalism will be laid bare. I mean, that's what'll happen. I won't be like, look at the fun robot pirates. I'll be like, the robot pirates are just, they're too capitalist.
They're telling you you're thirsty. Go get a lemonade.
Yeah, it's like everything will be a capitalist plot. So it's like, it's a small world after all, I'll just ruin I'll be like, it's a controlled world, it's like, yeah.
So basically
it's an NSA, it's a small world, more like a read your emails kind of world. Anyway, I would ruin the fun for people because they're going to go and do acid and they're just going to be like, oh my God, look, it makes the colors even brighter on Mickey's head.
But that's something you do when you're like 17, not
right. They're all 40.
Yeah.
But what I was saying on the Daily Zeitgeist is, I don't know how you have to be so well adjusted to do acid in public when you're 40. How do they keep their credit ratings out of their head? Last time I did acid, I got a tattoo of my credit rating. It's expensive too. It's huge. It's really beautiful. So Eric, don't talk. You don't have to talk if you don't want. But what happened to the cold brew buttons? Did they break? Then why aren't you using them? Are you using them so much in your spare time that you don't want to use them on the show?
Cold brew got me like.
We got some good chat.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry. We got
what happened?
We got a lot of people joining us for the show.
I'm so glad.
Some of the people are saying, glorious sugar badge. Can you imagine getting a marijuana lemonade at Disneyland? Drugs will
put marijuana in it. Do they have THC? They don't have THC. Not THC. CBD. Do they have that? I heard that Mickey Mouse himself was handing out CBD gummies.
Yeah. CBD guns. CBD makes you think when you're on those rides. It's not a good thing.
CBD makes you sleepy, right? So I have some weed drops, but they're mostly CBD. So mostly, I bet I'll fall asleep on Space Mountain. Then all the people on acid will poke me with sticks.
When my friends in college had, those when you die at an Easter egg, they have those kits, those little vials. They're old school with the different pyramid-like tops, and they had one of those sent to them from Connecticut to Delaware, and they had full of LSD. So it was like a lot of acid.
Oh, I remember that. Was I there at your college when someone had some of that, or was that some other time?
No, probably.
Like they had a vial full of LSD.
Yeah. And so everyone was always doing it. I never did it, but it was almost like I liked all my roommates better when they were on acid. They're like, man, you're so cool to talk to when you're on acid, when I'm on acid.
Oh my God.
So I was a stabilizing influence. They're like, go talk to Greg. He's really cool.
Oh my God.
But I never did it.
So you're like a shaman. You're and you don't get those kind of compliments usually.
Right.
Because people around you aren't having like a nervous breakdown at all times. So they don't value your steadfastness as much, like say at a regular job where no one's on drugs.
Right.
Yeah, so, that's fun. That's funny. You should keep a posse. Maybe that's what ayahuasca. I almost call him an ayahuasca judge, not an ayahuasca judge, an ayahuasca guide. Although I think it'd be really cool if the people who are on ayahuasca got judged by a panel as a surprise on one of the ayahuasca trips. Do you know what ayahuasca is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, rich white people go to like, some country like, that they think is exotic, like Peru or something. And then they have somebody, I think usually, whoever it is has long hair, definitely. The person who's the guide has to have long hair. I don't think you could be an ayahuasca guide and have be bald. I don't think, because people will be like,
I would wear this.
People will be frightened. Like if you have long hair.
My Raiders flag, and I would have never done ayahuasca. I'd be like, you're going to vomit now. Be prepared.
Right. Oh, so you know about ayahuasca. I bet everybody in the chat knows about ayahuasca, but I just think it'd be funny as a surprise, because usually you pay to have a guide there who basically is playing the role you played for your roommates in college, where the guide is like, it's going to be okay and stuff. But it'd be funny. It'd be like, hey, guess what? On this ayahuasca thing, we got a whole different kind of thing. We're going to have a panel of actual judges judge your personality in 45 minutes. But anyway.
Yeah, I saw a documentary about that, and basically he was getting ripped off. Like this kid who had a real depression problem went down there, and it was a really good documentary, and he had to go to 3 different shamans to find someone who wasn't going to rip him off. And finally he found the guy who didn't charge him anything, was his savior. But it took a while. It's like a cottage industry down there. And I think it's Peru.
Yeah. And I think the ayahuasca thing, the thing that I don't understand about the whole enlightenment with drugs thing is you have to do it over and over. So if you're only enlightened during the period when you're taking the drugs, like I don't feel like people carry the information they get from the ayahuasca thing to their regular life afterward. I feel like they just have to go back again. Like I just don't understand. I mean, I understand that drugs, like the first time I smoked pot was a valuable experience. You know what I mean? Like I found out something, but that's what I think it's for. It's supposed to be finding out something, not just being pleasantly disoriented. Like I smoked pot and then I watched the news, and that's when you learn the news is bullshit. That's the value of pot. That's right, it. Yeah, and then you know that. Everything else with pot after that is just recreational, getting zonked, so you don't have to think about the news or whatever. I mean, it's funny. First you learn the news is bullshit, and then you avoid it the rest of your life with weed. No, but basically it's weed is just a way to avoid reality after the fact. Like you learn a little bit from weed, and then if you keep doing it every day, all day, you're just, hitting yourself in the head with a mallet, so you don't have to know what's going on past a certain point. Right. In ayahuasca, people think like, oh, I'm mean to people. I'm a mean person. I'm a mean sociopath. If I go do ayahuasca, then I won't be mean anymore or something. That's what they think. You know what I mean? Like the meanest bosses are like, listen, we're getting too mean. Like, I know we're supposed to be mean. It's capitalism. I realize that, but we're all a bunch of monsters. Like Brenda threw hot coffee on me the other day and told me it was like a character building thing for me to get burnt. So I think we've gotten out of hand here at WeWork or wherever they work. That WeWork guy would make a great shaman too. He's it's essentially the same role. Like, you pay to go down to Peru and have some guy who looks like the WeWork guy tell you you're great, and then you say, "Look, and I'm," or tell you you're not a monster. You're just a go-getter. And then you barf a lot, and you're like, "I'm not a monster anymore." And then you go back to New York or whatever, and you start just berating your employees like before, except you have a hangover.
That's possible.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe ayahuasca does make you nice.
Well, I was talking about this today at work, actually. And he said, "Oh, my friend became a different person after he started microdosing LSD."
But that also could be from brain damage. You know what I mean? Is it like did they learn something, or did they just take out part of their brain? Did they just lobotomize themselves?
He said he used to have sort of an Asperger's type personality, and now he's really much more receptive. And this was the
quieter Asperger's.
And he says, and he can live alone. He lives alone, and he's fine with it. He's happy being alone. That was the test.
That's supposed to be better?
I guess. I mean, he
microdosed himself into isolation?
Yes.
Microdosing is insane. A good friend of mine, did microdosing, and then he, as usual, it went haywire. Like, he went for a hike and took a microdose of LSD, and he tripped like on a level he'd never tripped before in his life. Because these things are unpredictable. And people might even in the chat might know who I'm talking about, because he's told this story before. It's such a funny story. So he goes on a hike, and he's like, he was really into microdosing. He thought he found the answer. So he was very embarrassed afterward, because he pretty much lost his mind. Like, he took what was supposed to be a microdose and he hiked way up a mountain, and then it hit when he was up on the mountain. So he was by himself. And he said when he knew that things were way out of hand was when everyone he saw, it seemed like everywhere he looked, there was a mailman. I just thought was like the perfect description. True? He just said all of a sudden there were way too many mailmen, and I knew something. Well, he got back. He was like, "All right, I got to get home." And he said on the way home, he saw like more mailmen than he'd ever seen in his life. And that's how he knew he had to get back to his house, because he was like obviously losing his mind. But I just love that. That's the kind of thing where it's like LSD, just like when you take too much, you're like, "That's another mailman." But it's like the same mailman. It's like you just saw him twice, or you just you looked at a mailman.
Oh, that sounds like a bad trip.
Oh, it was a terrible trip. He said it was it was a nightmare. And he felt very embarrassed about it, because he had just been promoting microdosing. For a while. He was like, "I think this is the answer." The answer to what, though? Well, it's the answer to being fucked up at work. I mean, the answer to making work so it's like constant. See, like, all right, once you get to a certain point of privilege and wealth, and I'm not saying my friend is that wealthy, but you have nothing to do anymore. There's nothing to do. So you're like, "Is this as good as it gets?" And they're like, "Wait, what if I did acid every day in small amounts?"
Yeah.
So like, I already have everything together, but it's kind of boring. I can sit by my pool, and I can go to Whole Foods and buy whatever I want or whatever. But it's still, there's something missing. Maybe, but I can't do coke. I already tried that. I can't do cocaine. Things get too out of hand.
Well,
so I have to try something else. How about tiny doses of LSD every day?
Well, I think that it's supposed to be a hack, a pivot or a hack. It's a lot of these tech entrepreneurs are doing it, and Elon Musk, I'm sure. I thought it was fascinating to learn that he has Asperger's, and everything makes sense now. I mean, that's why he has 4 companies at once. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about microdosing right now.
You're thinking about what? People
are. It's supposed to be it's a way to get progression. The mind is supposed to.
Oh, to get your brain into because some people think that Asperger's is like an advanced brain. Like, it's like they're moving toward the future brain that's going to be like hyper focused.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying he made microdose to help deal with his Asperger's, and just in general, A lot of people who are microdosing are people like tech entrepreneurs who are extremely wealthy, to your point.
I think Elon Musk is making up that he has Asperger's as he thinks it makes him more sympathetic. Is that possible? I mean, you never know.
It worked for me. I mean, I explained a lot. I always wondered.
Wait, you have Asperger's?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
No, it explained a lot.
Oh, for Elon Musk, you mean? It explained Elon Musk.
Yes. I mean, who else can start a mining company, a neural pathway company, a rocket company, and a car company? I mean, thank God he's got something wrong with him.
Yeah, I guess that's right. You know, but I think that, like, the funny thing about Asperger's is it's kind of like, if like everybody's trying to take over the world, like a hyper focus, even if it's like a disorder, is helpful in capitalism. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't think it's healthy to start 50 companies, but that's what everybody's like trying to pretend like is the right thing to do.
Sure. Yeah, I was just trying to put it into context.
Well, anyway,
I got us off on the Delta.
No. So that's good. So what's this chat doing? Like, let's check in on the chat. Oh yeah, hit that. Can you hit the heavy metal Cold Brew Got Me Like? Just for fun? He's on break again. Oh, there you go. Got me like. I'd like to thank Dave Paulson if he's listening. He made that metal. He played the music for that. And if you listen to the old Crofton show, our old podcast, he made Fiery Bobcat. Remember that song?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that was Dave Paulson who made that. So Dave Paulson made that Cold Brew Got Me Like thing. I just sent him the me going, Cold Brew Got Me Like.
Here, someone in the chat room named Drop on My Pants with a Z says, medical conditions aren't funny. Being born with emeralds in your pockets and thinking you are special is.
Okay, but all right. Yeah, and I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying is Elon Musk, do you find Elon Musk trustworthy? I do not. I'm just saying that anybody can say they have Asperger's. I'm not making fun of people with Asperger's. I'm saying I'm actually suspicious of Elon Musk. I don't believe he tells the truth. That's what I mean.
And then someone said he didn't start a mining company. His parents have one. So our audience is deep in the knowledge. They know all about this shit that we're talking about.
Yeah, I just don't trust Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is full of shit. That's all in general. So last week we talked about pornography, and we were talking about this video store that we used to go to, run by this guy named Wayne. And Wayne, you know, I started going to that video store in 1984, maybe. Probably rented my first porn movie in 1985 when I was 16. You're not supposed to be able to rent them till you're 18, but this guy Wayne let me rent them. Like, I talked about it last week. Like, I kind of looked at him in the eye, and he said, like, because in the original setup of the store, you had to go up to the counter, and the adult section was directly to the left. And like, there was no way to get in there without making eye contact with Wayne. But Wayne gave me the like sort of nod. You know, he just looked at me, and I could tell he was like, yeah, go ahead, go in there, go ahead. So last week we talked about that. Now, and
Wayne was always about to smoke a cigarette.
Yes, Wayne was either smoking or had smoked. I mean, he was smoking. He was standing inside his store smoking, and he always looked sweaty and nervous, which is a weird thing you figure being a video store clerk would be a relaxed job. I mean, what's really going to happen? And he always looked like he was about to get busted by the feds for something. So Greg knows what he looked like, so that's extra funny to him. But so someone in the chat, Embrus, I think it was, I think that's the name, sent me an article. It turns out that Wayne's video store, he Googled this. He Googled like video store Connecticut, Wayne, and the store is still open, or was open until 2016. And this newspaper the Stamford Advocate did an article about Wayne. Oh, there it is, James Bruss. He did it. So I thought it'd be fun to read it today because it's an amazing article. Because basically, okay, this is kind of complicated. The article's premise is pretty much like the American dream. Like everything's supposed to be about how if you stick to it enough in this country, you can make it happen. So in this case, it's an obsolete technology. He's renting videotapes and DVDs. This article kind of implies that he's been able to keep his video store open for so long through bootstrapping, that he basically has just been so, uniquely American. Is it not the most uniquely American thing to be able to keep a video store open until 2016, even though no one's renting videos? But my thought was, the only way you can keep a video store open until 2016 is you sell cocaine out of it. So I just think it's a very delusional article that's sort of just being like, oh, Wayne, you are a testament to the American entrepreneurial spirit, that you are able to be the only person in the world who still has a video store open just because you're unwilling to give up. Like, that doesn't work. I mean, I couldn't sell 8 tracks. I could be I couldn't sell an 8-track cassette or you can't just sell obsolete technology by being very fervent about it. You can't just be like, here, everybody buy, you want to buy it. I'm trying to think of an obsolete technology. Well, I was talking about mining equipment. I was talking about watching abandoned mine exploration videos on YouTube on Daily Zeitgeist yesterday. And in the mines, the same equipment is found abandoned all the time. Union carbide drill oil, for example.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't bring back. Look, this person who wrote this article about Wayne, the video store clerk, made it like Wayne's still selling Union carbide drill oil, even though no one uses it. But it's just because Wayne just doesn't give up.
How does it mention?
That's probably a crazy maybe example, but the idea is that you can't sell obsolete technology just using just because you're just like American and like won't give up.
I was just looking at his photo, and it reminded me that he always had reading glasses on. I hadn't remembered that until now. He's always looking at those titles, I guess. That was his job.
Well, there's the other thing in this article that's crazy is that they say that Wayne has never taken a day off in his whole time running it. It's been open for 30 years.
Oh,
that's supposed to be a good thing. But that also would explain, you're not going to leave your cocaine with somebody else. I mean, I'm not kidding. You don't keep it. I mean, I am convinced I'm right. I don't know much about fronts. But this is, the only way you can, anyway, let's read the article, and then we're going to do a little bit of the high dive. We're going to talk about the high diving competition. But I sent Eric a picture of the videotape so we could have it on in the background.
Okay.
Can you hit the Cold Brew Got Me Like button?
Cold Brew Got Me Like.
When a small video store opened at the Springdale Shopping Center in 1990, it joined a movie rental industry in its prime. Now it's the last of its kind. For the past 26 years, the city has been home to... Should I name the place?
I think it's fine. We won't use his last name.
Through Critics' Choice Video, one of 2
Critics' Choice Video is the name of the video store. Plus, it was open in 2016. There's no fucking way it's open in 2021.
One of the 2 independent DVD rental businesses believed to be left in Connecticut. The other is Best Video Film and Cultural Center in Hamden. Wayne has owned and operated Critics' Choice since it opened, and he said he still has enough customers to stay in business. Quote, as long as the landlord doesn't up me in rent, and as long as I can make ends meet, I'm going to stick around, Wayne said, whose 1,000 square foot store sits in the northwest corner of Hope Street Shopping Center.
Okay, read that quote one more time for me. What did he say?
As long as the landlord doesn't up me in rent, as long as I can make ends meet, I'm going to stick around.
Right. See, now if I was the journalist, I'd be like, how do you make ends meet with a video store? But he didn't ask that. He just was like, you're incredible. So, okay.
Wayne has held on longer than most. Blockbuster shuttered its few remaining stores in 2013, replaced in the market by video vendor Redbox and streaming services like Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah. Right.
Fairfield's independent video store MediaWave closed in 2014.
Yeah, because they're playing fair because nobody was renting anything.
Hank Hoffman, program director and co-manager at Best Video, didn't know a video store still existed in Stamford.
Yeah, okay, so this is the guy in Hamden. So there's 2 video stores in Connecticut, according to this article. The one in Hamden, the only reason that's open, as we're about to find out, is because they turned it into some kind of multi-purpose community center that also has some old videos to rent too. But the Hamden guy, like, this journalist tricks the Hamden guy into being like, wow, that guy sounds amazing. We had to diversify our offerings to stay in business, but old Wayne is just doing the straight ahead DVD. He's still, I mean, it's just the idea that you're a hero for keeping the store open is just, okay, so just keep going.
Hoffman's shop has survived by converting to a nonprofit cultural arts center and offering film screenings, live music, and lectures.
Yeah, Wayne's place just looks like a regular video store from 1990.
We started offering music in 2011, 3 nights a week, he said. That created additional constituency who were interested in supporting the store. Hoffman echoed Wayne's belief that he and Best Video are the last, very last of a dying breed. It's great to hear there's someone else in the state who's continuing to uphold the idea of a place that's a brick and mortar cultural center, Hoffman said.
You and I have both been to Critics' Choice Video. Would you call it a brick and mortar cultural center?
No, I would not. No.
I mean, these guys are delusional. This is like the story of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp or something. I mean, this is not. You're just. This is just a lot of businesses have gone out of business before because their product was obsolete. It's not a question of whether or not you're man enough to keep staying open. Like radio controlled airplanes are not popular anymore, but you can't just like be like, I'll fucking make them popular again.
Hey, Chris, just chiming in here. The Critics' Choice Video in the Springdale Shopping Center opens tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Still open.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Well, yeah, people still like cocaine. I'm just kidding, by the way. I have no idea. We're also, fuck, I guess maybe we shouldn't say, I don't know what the rules are, but we didn't say his last name. I'm not sure there's any, it could just be that Wayne is the. Well,
it says Wayne here is a film buff with an affinity for black and white movies, and he once aspired to be an actor. It feels good when people admire it, he said, but sometimes it can feel like a museum. I see young kids who look at me and think it's passé. Despite obvious hurdles.
They know it's passé.
Despite obvious hurdles, Wayne has maintained his Stanford customer base by offering personalized movie recommendations and hard-to-find cult and foreign films, in addition to blockbusters and new releases. I'm more of a local store.
Okay,
so,
yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
If you live in Westport, how far are you willing to drive unless it's something you can't find anywhere else?
Okay, so his business model, he's saying, is pretty much, I have stuff no one else has.
Has 10,000 DVDs. Wow, and a dusty bin of VHS tapes that were given to him by customers who didn't see fit to dump them in the trash. They're antiques, Wayne said. As much as DVDs are sharper and clearer and there are more features, I actually have fewer complaints in the VHS days, he said, likening VHS tapes to vinyl records and their vintage appeal.
Also, I can't believe how long this article is. I mean, this is like halfway through. I mean, you would think that they'd be like, can you believe there's 2 video stores open? Okay.
Back then, Wayne worked with a film distributor, but now turns to a familiar source to replenish his stock. When Amazon came along and I started to knock prices, I switched to them. They're a competitor, but at the same time, you use them to your advantage. Some people don't want to put their credit card in file, or older people don't want to use the internet. I have to take advantage of that. Wow, he has stayed in business. He's buying from Amazon.
But what does he mean? Old people don't want to put their credit card on file. What does that mean?
I used to, when I ran the dock store, people would call me and say, "Hey, I can't use the computer, but I want to order this off the computer." So you basically order the videos for them over the phone.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's providing a service to old people. All right.
Yeah. Wayne also takes advantage of another niche market, which he serves in a small closed-door room. It's low
Here we
key.
go.
It's low key, he said, of his adult collection. It's not like it used to be because the internet helped a lot of people get stuff for free.
Help. The internet made it free. Okay.
But a lot of times when you get what you get for free on the internet is snippets, not the entire thing.
Is that what he said in the article?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I missed that. Oh my God. He just
a lot of my
said,
people are diehard fans and they want to see the whole thing.
No, oh my God. What kind of psychopaths want to see entire porn movies? That's his argument? That he's in business because he carries the whole film? People are tired of just cum shots. I like the official. The people who come in here really enjoy porn movies.
He was always a straight shooter.
Well, I mean, kind of. But I mean, the thing about Wayne is I always got the feeling something weird was going on in there. I didn't know what it was because I was too young to know what it was. But there was something weird going on in that store. There's always a bunch of teenagers hanging around, and they all look kind of like stoned or like their eyes looked funny. I didn't know what was happening in there, but I truly believe something more is going on in there than him just being, like a relentless video salesman. I don't believe this narrative. I don't believe he's the Wyatt Earp of VHS.
Well, his reading glasses was a good cover. Made him look serious, and you're like, wait, who is this guy?
I also like that he says his porn section isn't like as vibrant as it used to be back in the day.
Okay, I didn't get there.
No, he already said it. He just said like it's small.
Oh yeah, he said it's low key. Yeah.
What does that even mean? What is low key? It's always been low key.
I got rid of the ball and gag films.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I got rid of the mariachi band. Like I remember. Anyway, I guess we're almost taking the whole show on this, so maybe we should switch to the diving. Should we switch to the diving, or how much more is left of this?
It's almost over. Let's finish it off.
All right.
The cool thing is his prices haven't changed that much over the years. In 2011, it was $375. He still charges $375. I think it was $375 back in 1990, wasn't it?
Yeah, what? I mean, that is really cheap.
I mean, $375 was the rate.
I mean, if you're looking for a bargain rental, I guess that's a good thing. But the thing is, why do you need? I don't know. Why do you need a bargain rental when you got streaming? I mean, I remember being in his store. He doesn't have I just think it's weird. He says that his model for why he's in business is because he has films no one else can find. And if you apply that same logic to his porn section, that's disturbing.
Oh, but this reminds me of how you didn't return your videotape, and I always returned it, but some people didn't, and I just was disgusted how like the late charges could stack up, and so he's like, Wayne's prices are higher than Redbox, which charges $1.50 a night, but he says if someone's late, I'll negotiate the fee. If you're late with Redbox, there's no negotiating. So it's all about the personal touch.
I just don't remember Wayne being heartwarming in any, like in this thing. It's like you go in there for a fireside chat with Wayne. I never felt like that. I always felt like he was in the middle of something nefarious, and then you had to interrupt him and be like, "Do you have Raiders of the Lost Ark Crystal Skulls?" And he'd be like, "No, it's out." "Do you have like 6,000 porn movies?" He'd be like, "Yeah, they're over there." So I don't none of this him as a pioneer or like film recommender. Do you remember him recommending any films, Greg? Was he like someone you'd ask about cinema? I don't remember him saying shit. I remember him smoking. I remember him sweating. I remember him looking furtively around. Did you get to the part where he says, I've never taken a day off, though? Because that's hugely suspicious to me. He says he hasn't taken a day off the whole time it's been open, and he's never had any other employees. And he said he hasn't even been on a plane ride the whole time he's been in that business.
If people are late and they drop the movie and run, I treat them different than if they come in and say they're late. Getting FaceTime with each of his customers is important. Wayne rarely takes a day off and has never hired another full-time employee. He took his first ever 2-day vacation last month and hasn't been on a plane since opening the store.
Yeah, that's not like, yeah, they're trying to make those heroic qualities instead of strange qualities.
Cold Brew got me like.
That confirms it.
That's very strange. It's not something like, man, this guy's really means business. He really loves his video store. He hasn't taken on a day off since 1985. I aspire to be like Wayne. To not take a day off for 40 years.
Dan Farber owns signs.
Because I'm so passionate about standing around a video store smoking. Now that's an American.
Yeah, all those thousands of hours standing there.
Very strange. And that's why I think there has to be more going on. There's more going on because he wouldn't even be able to stand in there for 40 years unless there was something else going on.
Yeah, there's not a lot of air movement in that store.
But I will no. Smoke? No. I mean, I don't know how to quite describe this to people who've never been there, but it was not lively. It was.
But it's his.
I guess.
Dan Farber.
Now, I want to return to something real quick because it's bothering me. I didn't mean the thing I said about Elon Musk and Asperger's. I'm not trying to. I have friends who. I mean, I'm not going to even say that shit. I don't want to say that. All I want to say is that.
I was the one who was being.
No, Elon Musk famously, said, I was the first person on Saturday Night Live with Asperger's. That's not true. What do you call him? Talking Heads. David Byrne has been on the show with Asperger's.
Oh, really?
And there's another performer that's been on that show that has Asperger's.
Maybe every successful person has Asperger's.
I'm just saying that Elon Musk is not, he bragged about, honestly, he bragged about being the first person on Saturday Night Live to have Asperger's. And he's not that. So I just do not trust the guy. I do not believe you have to understand that when someone is being as evil as Elon Musk, compiling that amount of wealth and fomenting that amount of hatred, you just can't, if anything to make him more sympathetic, he's going to pull. I'm just saying that. I'm not trying to say that people, I'm just saying you can doubt.
The chat room doesn't care anymore.
I'm just saying you can fucking doubt the motives of a cartoon villain without, I'm not trying to shame people who have a disease.
On Kath says, Greg, in caps, straight shooter, on Kath, skeet, skeet, skeet. Glorious garbage. This is the kind of guy I would ask about what porn I should be watching. He's incorrect.
Oh, we're back to porn. Okay, I just wanted to say that because I don't want to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be fucking insensitive about Asperger's.
I didn't hear it that way at all. Don't worry about it. He's on meth and he lives there. That's what Glorious Garbage says.
Who's on meth? Well, that's
Wayne.
Yeah, I get. This is what I feel like. I feel like the title of this article should have been Sweaty Cot. Like it should have been Man Sleeps on Sweaty Army Cot for 40 years because of porn addiction. That should have been the headline, not like Heartwarming Man bootstraps video rentals into fourth decade.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like I don't know. I would call it like the title of the article could have been like Murderer Won't Close Video Store.
Sweaty man has smoked 10 million cigarettes.
Yes, like can't smoke on planes. Like that's what I would say. Is it because you can't smoke on a plane? You'd be like, well, to be honest, yes, that's a huge part of it. I really have no desire to go on a plane because I can't stop smoking.
I think he should have gone into acting. I think that was a mistake.
I think he should have gone into acting too. Because he acts with his eyes. He did a great job with his eyes of letting me know that I could go into the adult section at age 16.
Well, no, he embarrassed me in front of my mom because I would go in there and look for vampire movies. That was my thing, which I didn't want to brag about or I wanted people really to know about that much. And so My mom was in there, your mom, and he's like, "Hey, tell your son that I got this new vampire movie for him to check out." And so mom came home and said that to me. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, that's horrible. So like his only service to me was to embarrass me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Chris. Oh, your son Chris sure likes lesbians. Hey, your son Chris sure likes watching lesbians have sex. He rents these 6-hour videos of it. Oops. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's more like what Wayne was like.
He was like this. He's a cinephile for porn. I like that idea. Well, that one, that was groundbreaking. It was the first time they ever had that much makeup on a dick. They made the dick look like a real lighthouse. In that one, that was incredible. That's a makeup artist I still respect. He overdosed. He was 24, but I'll remember him.
Yeah, the industry misses him.
You ever been on Pornopedia? Thanks, Wayne. I gotta go. Okay, so now, how's the power directors doing over there?
They're doing well.
Are they doing good?
Cold Brew got me
James
like.
Bruss says vampire movies in Cold Brew is a hell of a night. All right, James.
All right, that's
I'm with
true.
you.
I like that. Should we make shirts? Can we make shirts that say that? I'd like to sell those. Or can we make a shirt that just has a videotape on it and says Wayne on the back? Would the power directors buy that?
I bet Wayne would be into it too. He's like, all
He
right.
would too. I hope Wayne hears this because we're just kidding around. We're sure you're not a murderer or anything. We know you're just passionate about music, movies. It's like OK Corral. You're Wyatt Earp, and the red box is Doc Holliday.
All right, we need 8 minutes of high diving. I need it.
Yeah. Let me recap though real quick. If you're listening on what was I going to say? Oh, if you go on YouTube, if you watch this show on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you want to support the show, please go to patreon.com/Chris Crofton. And I'm going to start putting up. I just got all the old Chris Crofton shows. So me and Greg used to do a radio show in Nashville called Best of Bread from 2005 to 2009. Then we did a show called The Chris Crofton Show, which we did 200 episodes of. I have almost every single one of those episodes now, and I'm going to start putting them up kind of in as much in order as I can on the Patreon. So that's patreon.com/Chris Crofton. Oh, yeah, canaries. Don't forget, we call dollars canaries here at the Chris Crofton Show. So don't forget to go to Patreon and subscribe. Give us a few canaries, and we'll keep talking about video stores.
Yeah, we could do a live podcast from Wayne's.
I would love that.
Critics' Choice.
And I'd be like, Wayne, are you dealing cocaine here? I asked that as a friend.
Snort this. Fine, you tell me.
I would be afraid to ask. I would be afraid to do a podcast from Wayne's place. But that'd be funny because you know how like weed podcasts go to Amsterdam and do like a weed podcast from Amsterdam? Cold Brew got me like to go do a fucking live feed from Wayne's video store. That was fucking cool.
They say you can't go home again. I don't think so.
Yeah.
We'd be home, baby.
Yeah, and I could talk to the people in the adult section. I could be like, man, oh man, which videotape are you gonna fuck? I love that. I just remember. I'm sorry to bring it up again. I hate that we've done two shows that are largely about porn. It's all my fault. But I do like the idea. I've always thought about that when I was in the videos, like when I was 16 or 17 in the video section, like the atmosphere in the adult video section where two men are both looking for the videotape is just an unbelievable atmosphere. And young people today don't know that. That was the stuff of life.
Yeah, that was like that was our Vietnam, basically.
You don't need ayahuasca. Yeah, ayahuasca. Go into an adult video store and rent a video with a couple other grown men. Just soak in that atmosphere. That'll teach you some life lessons. You don't need any ayahuasca after that. Oh, all right. So, well, let's take a look at some high diving for the next 5 minutes.
And somersaults on a safe entry.
Well, let's take it. Can we get it to where we were? Yeah, let's get it to where they were talking.
Yeah, we got to spread this one out. This is too good.
Well, let's just hit.
We'll
Did
just
we
do a
already do
little
Rick
bit.
Charles?
Yeah, they were interviewing.
Oh, is this right after they dropped the ice block? But can you take it back
Yeah.
to? Can you take it back to when those Radio Shack managers gave scores to the dive? It's like right after the dive. Okay, like there's good. They'll show those.
This is his girlfriend, Linda.
Okay, there's a wife or whatever, and
she's talking
the whole
to
family
herself
gets to watch these
nonstop,
people
a couple little smiles, a couple nods of confidence.
possibly get ground into hamburger. So people who weren't here last, weren't here last week.
Meditating. What's it going to feel
This
like?
is
What do I have
this
to do right
1983. They had a high dive championship where everybody in this championship, this guy included, is setting a world record. It's a 172-foot dive.
Very good. All right, he didn't hit well. Now he could have hurt himself. The dive was good. It was solid. He's a strong competitor, strong diver, but his feet went apart on the entry. And I know that has got to
This
hurt.
guy's not happy.
It's not like they're landing, it's like they're exploding the water.
I know. Well, no, this is like, if you weren't here last week, I mean, if you just fall off of a 172-foot tower into the water, you die. So there is some technique going on here. Oh, there's the Radio Shack guys holding up sixes and stuff. Like that. There you go. There they are. I want to know who those fucking assholes are where someone risks their life if you give them a 4.5. I mean, for God's sake, if I ever saw a 4.5 after I did a dive like that, I would personally drag that guy up the ladder and throw him off the platform.
You throw him into the killer whale tank.
Yes, and the announcers would be like, "This is unexpected, but we love it." Because this is a sideshow, and that's what we talked about last week. This is treated as a sporting event, but it's not a sporting event. It's a sideshow. These people are risking their lives, and the announcers, even though they're pretending to announce it, are hoping somebody is going to, be ground into a hamburger on television.
And to enter the water the way I wanted to, but fortunately, I've been training physically very, very hard, and I was able to withhold the impact.
You really did take a shot, and there is that acceleration factor right in the middle there that just really surprises you.
It's my first time up there, and that's what threw me off. So, fortunately, I'm not hurt bad. And I think that's the most important.
Well, we're glad you got down safely, and good luck. We'll probably see you next year.
He's like, no fucking way to see me next year. And that announcer says, you picked up speed. He keeps accusing the divers of picking up speed somehow, like it's their fault.
Yeah, well, that's he had to comment on something.
That's the thing, is this is a death dive, and it doesn't need a sports announcer. The guy who's talking, that sports announcer guy, was an Olympic diver. They don't dive. They dive from reasonable heights and do artistic moves. This is about, this is like,
Let's try to get a quick word with him.
Bruce, your mic is open.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is Kenny Sitzberger down at poolside along with Diana Nyatt. How do you feel, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm ready. All I have to do is execute the same dive I had from 130. I think I'll be there.
You look a lot more confident than you did at 130 even.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I feel great. I'm loosened up. The only thing I don't really like is the ladder. It's pretty shaky up here.
Is it shaky?
It's very shaky. Last year we had a very solid ladder. I'm just going to try to keep it out of my mind, but...
All right, well, we won't keep you. I don't want to interrupt your concentration. You got one dive
The
to do.
people
You
like,
got to defend your title. Good luck.
We won't
Thank
keep you. The announcer, Kenny Sitzberger, says we won't keep you. Kenny Sitzberger is a psychopath, and he doesn't have anything to announce, because every time they do a successful dive, secretly ABC Sports is bummed out because they want blood. And Kenny Sitzberger then has to analyze the dive, and he keeps saying, you took a shot on entry. Listen to Kenny Sitzberger. He keeps saying, you took a shot. Yeah, they all take a shot. It's 172 feet. He also says, you really sped up there toward the bottom. Like, I just think that's the most incredible thing, is he keeps accusing the divers of speeding up.
Before they moved up to the world record level of 172 feet.
Well, Bruce had said before that he was quivering at the 130-foot level, and he just may be a little nervous up there.
Well, you can't really blame him. The water is awfully cold. And don't forget, it is salt water.
He seems to get ready and then fall back and then get ready and fall back. You've got to face your moment of truth up there, and if you're not ready, there's no shame in waiting. Only 20 years of age, but he is.
What? That was a mixed message.
Good jump, nice solid. He looks like he knows exactly where it is. Punched it. Oh, he hit it way short. He looks like the shadows might have misjudged. I think he's all right. He did a nice dive. He took a shot in the chest. He'll be sore tomorrow, but nothing serious.
He did come over on his chest. You think he might have got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
Oh, he looks good, though. Okay, we'll see what he did here.
Oh,
nice jump. He's really, really confident for 172 feet. He's got a good beat. He's got his eyes riveted right on his target. But somewhere he passed through the acceleration point and lost it for a split second.
And Bruce Bocci becomes the...
Let's check in with the assistant managers of Radio Shack. Let's check in with the witness protection program.
Third man ever to
The witness
successfully
protection
dive for
program gives you a
172
7.
feet.
You took a shot in the chest, didn't you?
Yeah. Ladder was really shaky up there. And that's why it took so long.
You took a shot on the chest,
Every time I got set,
shot
my
on
legs
the
would start
chest,
shaking.
didn't you?
And when I finally took off, I got the right jump, the jump I wanted.
Jump was great.
And then I
Yeah,
took
but you
and
took a
kicked
shot
out,
on the
and
chest, didn't you?
Was it the shadows or the fact that the sun's going?
It's just the speed also, but I just didn't kick on it. I didn't hold it up long enough and kick on it. Kicked back a little short of it, but I hit the water, took a face shot. My face is sprung up a little bit, but
Well, let me give you
I'm okay.
Let me give you the good news. You're in first place.
Well, it's a long way to go. I hope I can take it. But if not, I'm still a winner because I'm healthy.
You bet. Nice going.
His jaw's broken.
Good enough.
That's the
Nice
thing.
going.
Is like all these guys who just don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to talk to anybody.
with the
They don't
chance
want
to
to talk to
keep
these
Bruce
people up
Bocci
on the
from winning this
goddamn.
event
Look at
for
the
the second
heartwarming
consecutive
stuffed
year.
orca.
As the kids enjoy a beautiful day in the park, those
Cold
three
Brew
divers
got
are
me
preparing
like.
themselves. We'll be back
I'd
later
hate
with
to know
them
who's in that
and the
costume in
World Record High
1983
Dive
in
Challenge.
Florida. My God.
Would you believe, at over 170 feet.
We're
Frank
back at
Gifford was
SeaWorld
there.
in Mission Bay, San Diego,
Frank Gifford
where
was at
6
every.
brave high divers
He
are
was
trying to
always
put in
at
their
Evel
best
Knievel
performances
jumps.
from 172 feet. 3 divers
He
have
loved
already tested their
sideshows.
courage, all 3 succeeding. Rick Charles slightly lost control but scored 18 points. Rick Winters 20.5 points, and Bruce
I feel
Bocci,
like if
now
a
the man to
strong
beat,
wind
has
hit one of these
22
guys in the
points.
air, they
This
would
is Michael
land
Foley.
in a bloody
Kenny,
mess
he
on
was
the
the
dirt
only man
hillside.
Yes,
qualifying
and
for
that's what they're
130
hoping. I'm
feet.
sure
He
the
received
producers
only
wanted to
3
set up a
yes
fan.
votes to move on up from the
Oh, he
judges
missed the
rather
tank
than 5.
completely.
What does that indicate
Yeah.
about
Oh
him?
my goodness, that must have been.
Well,
I
it
don't know
means
what
that his
happened.
dive
Someone
from
left a giant
130 feet
fan
wasn't
pointed at
quite
the ladder.
stable enough for all 5 judges to say that
Who
it was
did that?
okay for him to progress up to the
And well,
172
last
foot
week, if
level.
you were here
2
last
said
week on
yes,
Cold
2
Brew
said
Got Me
no,
Like, the
and
TV
quite
show on
frankly, this is
Twitch
the
that you're
first diver
watching,
I've seen in the last 5
then you
years
noticed
to
that
ever really
also
go
Kenny
up to that
Sitzberger
peak.
accused the
130
diver
feet,
of shaking the
no
ladder.
Here he
That's
goes.
right.
You're shaking the ladder. No, I'm not. It's a 172-foot ladder. You think I'm fucking shaking it? I weigh 120 pounds, you motherfucker. All right, we'll let you get back. We don't want to keep you.
Listen, some divers
We'll
have
let you
the
get back.
ability to walk right back down, and nobody thinks the less of them for it.
It probably doesn't even look like a pool from his vantage.
No,
Just
I'm
the
sure it looks like
courage that
kind of
provides
like
that
Earth
initial
through a
inertia has
telescope
gotta
if
be
you're on the
something. There he
moon.
goes. He looks, he's moving
Oh, this is
fast.
bad. This is the one that gets
He
me.
did the right thing, and he was in control, even though it wasn't a good dive. He moved his arms to the side, and he got down safely. He took a shot, but he did know what to do when he got himself in trouble. And believe me, he was in trouble.
Way over on his side, you can see the eyes closed. They're worried about him.
Oh, he's hurt. Let's try to analyze this. He's got a good jump. He comes over the top, and he spots the water. Everything is fine up until this point. As his legs come over the top of the dive, he will hit horizontal, and once they go beyond horizontal, he begins to pick up a tremendous amount of speed. Right here, the eyes go blurry. He can't see the exact surface of the water. He begins to twist, and boy, he takes a shot. What happened? Just the bottom fell out and you couldn't see the surface, or?
I had a hard time holding the brandy. I was moving a little bit, and I was moving. I couldn't hold I was rotating a little too fast.
You seem okay. Nothing permanent.
No. It's just quite a shock.
Well, nice going anyway.
Thank you.
He's going to be
Look
dead
at
in
that.
10
Look at
minutes.
these.
At this point, point, I doubt Michael
That guy
really
died in the
cares what the
hospital.
scores are. He's at least knows he's walking and he's alive. Dana Kusi will be the fifth man up the ladder. Dana's only 22, but his list
All right,
of
we're going to leave
accomplishments
you
in this
right after
sport
this one.
makes
This
it
is the
seem as
guy
if
who
he's
ends
been
up
diving
winning
for
the event.
decades. Kenny
Now,
got a
he's
chance
the
to ask
only
him about his
one.
confidence and his preparation.
Ken, I've been feeling really good. I guess for the first time that I've been doing these world records, this will be number 7 for me, that I finally inside realized that I'm going to have to take a few months' time preparation beforehand. And that's exactly what I did. I went up into the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. I used the University of Virginia Tech's facilities. They were very cooperative and let me in there. And I feel really good. I feel real strong. My 130-foot dive was really good. I have to admit, though, when I got up there and looked down and went, yeah, this is it again, you know. Last year I said I wasn't going to be up there, and then my phone rang off the hook for about 2 weeks until after I decided that I was going to retire. And every time I picked up the phone, I went, okay, you knuckleheads, I'm going to do it again one more time. And I feel real good. I took the time, I have to say, though, I took the time to go out and prepare myself mentally and physically. And I think it's helping out a lot.
Dana
Did you need
Kusi,
beer money?
Knees taped, ankles taped, several suits on.
I just think
And he is
the
no
idea of
newcomer
these
to
people
this
working
event.
out before
He's been
this
world
dive,
diving
I just
champion,
like
world
imagining
high
what the
diving champion.
workout for a
Has
sideshow
more
high
records
diver
than
was
anyone
in
else in
1983.
the sport
Like
of
they were like,
high diving.
I barely gamble.
Dana,
I
this
didn't
is
gamble
Ken
much
Sitzberg
this
and
week
Diane
at all.
Ryan at poolside. Can you hear us? Yeah.
I only drank
Position,
Monday.
buddy.
Today's Wednesday. I took Tuesday off. Well, I had a couple beers, but I didn't get drunk.
And the scores have been
So
kind of
anyway,
low, so I'm
we'll leave
hoping
you
I can
hanging.
get
We'll
a
come
good
back.
dive in
We'll
there and
come
up that
back
scores a little
to
bit. I need to
finish
win
this
real
up. We'll
bad.
see Dana Kunze's,
Dana, that's all I was going to ask.
or do you want to watch the dive? The dive is just like, he does it well, actually. So it's not as much fun. So this guy can't say, like, feeling a little rough, huh? Did you get a good shot in the face, huh? Does it feel bad? I'm surprised that guy doesn't, like, actually twist their nipple or whatever. How's this feel? That probably stings after that shot you took. So we will see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining
Cold
us.
Thank
Brew
you all for
got me
coming.
like.
You can find the show on YouTube at Cold Brew Got Me Like. You can find the show at on Spotify and in all the places you get podcasts on Cold Brew Got Me Like. And please support the Patreon if you can. And thanks so much to Greg, and thanks so much to John Burr, and thanks so much, most of all, to Eric Wilson for making this happen. Okay. We'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Eric.
Thanks, guys, for being here.
All right. Have a good night.
Hello, it's me.